Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to start a training video series for Business Central Technical. This video is for those who want to start fresh or are beginners. In this series of video, I will cover basic aspect of AL extension development. Once this series is over, we'll start other series for advanced level programming. So if you want to learn AL step by step, this video may help you. You can also refer to my blog for more details, where I am being writing from past 7 years. You can find several topics covered of your interest. Last year I launched this channel, but due to tight schedules, I didn't get chance to make videos. So now I have planned to release one video every week. If you don't want to miss them, do like, share, follow my channel, and don't forget to click the bell icon so that you get timely notification whenever I upload new video in this series. So let's start this course. Today we will cover basics of Business Central and introduction to Business Central. We will have an overview of Business Central and brief introduction to modules and capabilities in Business Central. I will be covering very basic part. Advanced level or detailed may I create in future. So the purpose is to just have introductory insight to the freshers or beginners. So the upcoming videos in this series will be covering only technical aspects, how to develop an app or extension in Business Central. Okay, so let's start with an overview. Business Central is built and optimized for small and medium businesses. This application is for companies that have outgrown their entry-level business applications. So often it is seen that with the growing business, their business accounting softwares or legacy enterprise resource planning, which we say as ERP systems, are unable to handle increased inventory and transactions. They lack integration with other line of business systems and also have reporting limitations. So their business are also challenged with the logistics for providing services that have more scalability, increased mobility, and availability in the cloud. Typical features of a cloud end-to-end business solution system is it is a cloud-based, maintains common database, supports multiple business domains, and all are integrated and have modular functionalities, and the real-time availability of data, also the job roles and authorization. So all these distinctive cloud end-to-end business solution features are available in Business Central, which empowers you and your organization to connect your financials, sales, projects, service, and operations. So with Business Central, you can manage your financials, automate and secure your supply chain, even sell smarter, which will improve customer service and project performances. Also optimize your operations. So the Business Central connects people and processes with a single, unified and comprehensive cloud solution. It also provides organization with an end-to-end view of their businesses. So as you can see, the image in the right side of this slide shows how Business Central automatically pulls systems and processes together, enabling users to manage, financials, sales, service, and operations. So, if we talk about the key benefits, Business Central allows organization to work from cloud, have access to the most current, accurate data to make the most informed decision possible. Make data instantly available at any place, on any device, after it has been entered in the system. Share data quickly and easily with key peoples throughout the company. Increase visibility across supply chains to gain greater control over purchasing processes. Maximize the revenue opportunities and better serve customers with built-in recommendations, budgets, and progress monitoring of your projects with the real-time data on available resources. It can accelerate financial close and report with accuracy while helping to ensure compliance. Streamline your manufacturing and warehousing operations to deliver products on time and reduce your costs. Connect through Microsoft App Source with third party applications to effectively run their business, including payroll, banking, CRM, and other industry specific systems. Help protects the mass of information from unauthorized access with advanced security systems and settings. It's integrate with other Microsoft cloud services, including your Microsoft 365. Okay, so let's understand about relationship management. So the relationship management feature of Business Central helps you manage and support your sales efforts. With these features, you have access to complete and accurate information so that you can focus your interactions on your preferred customers or contact segments. Basically, the good sales and marketing practices are all about how to make the best decisions and at the right time. So, Business Central provides a precise and timely overview of your contact information so that you can serve your prospective customers more efficiently and increase customer satisfaction. So let's have a view on few of the components of your relationship management. So contacts, basically contacts are basically your master data in your relationship management. So they represent people or maybe your companies and enable you to store and maintain information that you typically need for your marketing related activities. So in Business Central, you can register opportunities and codes for your contacts. You can synchronize contacts with your customer and vendors. And you can also manage duplicate contacts if any. Second one is your segmentation. So basically segmentations are a group of contacts that are selected according to any specific criteria. So Business Central allows you to use contact information for segmentation. You can save and reuse your segmentation criteria to group contacts. So basically, what is your opportunity management? So with relationship management in Business Central, you can keep track of sales opportunities, section your sales process into different stages, and use this information to manage your sales opportunities. Your sales quotes can be linked to opportunities. Opportunity management allows you to manage your customer journey and sales pipeline. And then campaigns. So basically the campaign is some sort of activity that involves your contacts. So it can be anything from sending out say catalogs and any special offers to organizing of any special events, etc. So you can organize campaigns based on segments. The segment that you have created out of your contacts that you have defined, and then record contact responses to your campaigns as your interactions. So basically, your interactions in relationship management not only supports contacts management but also helps you keep track of interactions with your contacts. So you can track interactions with your customer like phone calls, invites, and even your emails as your interaction. So in addition to tracking documents like sales quote, orders, reminders, invoices, and many other documents that are used within the business solution. So this was basically a brief idea of the relationship management. So it also provides you with the integration with your Dynamics 365 sales. You can integrate with Dynamics 365 sales with very simple steps to synchronize your data, including sales orders, item availability, unit of measure, and even your currencies. So if you use Dynamics 365 sales for customer engagement, so you can enjoy seamless integration in the lead to cash process by using your Business Central for backend activities such as processing orders, managing inventory, and doing your finances. So by integrating sales with your BC, you can access data in sales from your Business Central and vice versa. So you can synchronize data that both services have in common, like your customers, your contacts, or it could be your sales information, and keep the data up to date in both the applications. So if a salesperson in Dynamics 365 sales can use the price list from your Business Central when they create a sales order. So when they add the item to the sales order line in Dynamics 365 sales, they can see the inventory availability of the item from your Business Central. Similarly, order processors in your Business Central can handle sales orders that are automatically or manually transferred from your Dynamics 365 sales. So they can create and post sales order lines for items or your resources that were entered in your Dynamics 365 sales. So to synchronize data between Business Central and Dynamics 365 sales, you must first couple your records. Like if you want to see accounts in your Dynamics 365 sales as a customer in your Business Central, so you must couple the two types of records. To do that, on the customers list, your customer list page in your Business Central, you can use the setup coupling action. Then specify which Business Central customers to match to which account in your Dynamics 365 sales. So other than setting up coupling manually, you can also use the assisted setup guide and select the data to synchronize. With the synchronization between Business Central and Dynamics 365 sales, you can do a lot of things like you can handle your sales order data. So whenever the sales order that people submit in Dynamics 365 sales, it will be automatically transferred to the Business Central if you select the automatically create sales order option on your Microsoft Dynamics 365 connection setup page. The same way you can handle sales quote data. So the sales quote that are activated in your Dynamics 365 sales will be transferred to automatically process quotes in your Business Central. But it will only happen if you select the option on the Microsoft Dynamics 365 connection setup page. Also, you can handle posted sales invoices, customer payments, and statics. So when you invoice a sales order, you can transfer the posted sales invoice to your Dynamics 365 sales. So if you select the Create Invoice in Dynamics 365 sales option on the posted sales invoice page, so your posted invoices are transferred to your Dynamics 365 sales with the status as billed. So similarly, when a customer payment is received for the sales invoice in your Business Central, the sales invoice status can be changed to paid with the status reason field set as partial if you have received the partial payment, or it can be set as complete if your entire payment has been received, complete payment has been received. So this will happen when you select the update account statics action on the customer page in your Business Central. The update account statics function will also refresh values such as the balances and your total sales in the Business Central account statics fact box in your Dynamics 365 sales. You can also handle sales prices. You can synchronize sales price, apply to all customers or to a specific customer price group, and so on. So next point is supply chain management. So with the Business Central, you can streamline your supply chain. You can use a wide range of sales and purchase documents to set up the sales or purchase process that best suits to your need. You can manage sales purchase orders, or you can manage a blanket sales or purchase order, and you can maintain the sales purchase order processes in your Business Central. You can also simply create an invoice without an order process. So typically your sales order, you would be use your sales orders if your sales process requires that you ship parts of an order quantity, like your inventory is not having the order quantity in full available in your stock. So additionally, you can use sales order if you sell items by delivering directly from your vendor to your customer, which we refer to as a drop shipment. So with sales order, you can also use the order promising functionality to communicate certain delivery dates to your customers. You can also start the sales process by first creating your sales code, which you can later on convert to the sales invoice or your sales order once the agreement have been executed between you and your customer. So after the customer has confirmed the agreement, you can send an order confirmation to record your obligation to deliver the products as agreed. So in Business Central, you can also maintain the special prices and discounts. So you can market to your customer and your customer groups with special prices and discounts. Special prices and line discounts depends on some conditions such as minimum order, or it could be order date, or your minimum order quantity. So the program automatically applies the best price and the highest discount for the customer. From your sales document, you have direct access to all possible prices and discounts. Other than the line discounts, you can also set up an invoice discount. But in invoice discount, you link the discount percentage to the document amount. And your purchase orders are typically purchase orders if your purchasing process requires that you record partial receipts for your ordered quantity. Like your vendor is not having the quantity available in full as per your order quantity. So he will do a partial shipment, and at your end you will do the partial receipt of that order. Additionally, you can purchase if your sales items by delivering directly from your vendor to your customer as a drop shipment. So this is also one use of your purchase order. So Business Central can monitor and control your purchase process through automated workflows like OCR functionality. You can create replenishment order from inventory notification or forecasts and apply the prices and discounts based on specific conditions that you agree with your vendor, such as the minimum quantity and the order dates. To stay in control of purchase costs and expenses, you can even implement advanced workflow and approval structures too. So, your products, or what we say items in a Business Central, can be inventory items, it can be non inventory items, and it could be a service also. So, inventory items are basically your physical inventory units, whereas on the other side, non inventory items are the physical units but are not tracked in your inventory. So, items that are of service type are usually your labor time or such kind of things. So, Business Central provides you the categories and attributes. So, to increase your overview of item and help you find them, you can categorize items and give them attributes so that you can search and sort as per those parameters. So next is your item availability. So whenever any transactions happen, so your inventory increases and decreases, which is recorded when you post your purchase and sales documents. So you can increase or decrease the quantity of an item in inventory by posting directly to the item ledger entries using journals. Like after a physical count, or if you don't record purchases, so in this case you can manually adjust your inventory. The transfer between your locations will also change inventory quantities across your company's warehouse. So when you are selling items, you need to get a detailed view of an item's availability while considering the location and the date. Business Central informs you about the stock shortage when you process sales so that appropriate action can be taken, such as maybe creating a replenishment order or offering a substitute items. So, what are these catalogs? So, basically, in Business Central, you can set up and use items that you don't maintain in your inventory for your customers. So you can register these items that you do not want to manage in your system until you start selling them as catalog items. So when you want to start managing such items in your system, you can convert them to the normal items. And this you can achieve by two methods. One is like from your catalog card, you can choose to create a new item based on the template attached on your catalog card. And another way, you can create it from your sales order line. So from a sales order line of type item with an empty number basically your item number field. So select a catalog item. So in that case, an item card is automatically created for that catalog item. If you only enter a few fields, a catalog item will contain all the information that you may need to send to your customer, a price list of items that you don't keep in your stock. Like we do deal with these items, but at the moment we are not having the stock, or we are not maintaining the stock for these items. So a catalog item typically has the item number of the vendor who supplies it. So after you have entered a catalog item in the sales document, the program automatically creates a new item by using the item template which is attached to your catalog item card. So basically these templates contain all the mandatory fields that you need to set up a regular item. Your catalog items are not to be mistaken with your non-inventory item. Your non-inventory items are regular items that are given the type non-inventory to keep them out of the availability and costing calculation, since they are only used internally and have a very low cost. It could be like your stationaries or your coffee beans, etc. So, what is this item substitutions? So, basically, in the Business Central, it allows you to offer substitute items when, say, your requested items are unavailable. So, by setting up item substitution, you can link similar items. So, when you are doing your sales, you choose the item. The program will notify you that an item you are trying to sell to the customer or the item which is requested by your customer is out of stock. So you can consider using the substitute items and select one that you may have in your stock. So locations, basically you can manage inventory in your multiple locations that may represent your production plant, your distribution center, it could be your warehouse, or it could be a showroom or a retail outlet or your service vehicles. So when we deal with the item transfers, so you can track inventory and it's moved from one location to another and account for the value of inventory in transit at various locations. So your sales and inventory forecasting is the sales and your inventory forecast produced with machine learning technology. It is a predictive analysis of future sales and inventory levels. By setting period type and origin, you can specify the historical data that the program uses. When the inventory level drops below zero, you can create a replenishment invoice from the forecast chart. So, your warehousing, basically with the Business Central, you can receive and ship goods from your warehouse. Additionally, you can organize your internal warehouse activities, like if you need to put away items or move items inside or between your warehouses. So you can pick item for assembly, production or shipment. You can manage items on a bin level, pick and put away your items in a bin and move items between bins by using the report that optimizes space uses and picking process. So the assembly of items for sales or inventory is also included with your warehouse activities. Okay, so our next topic is purchase cycle. So let's jump into the demo and see how it works. Okay, so let's start with a quick demo of purchase model. So here I am having my database. So this is basically uh, standard Navision database, Business Central. So this is for India, Kronos. So let's jump into the purchase order, how it works. So you can access it from this menu purchase. So all the items related to the purchase cycle you will find over here. But there could be other documents also which we can see later. So let's jump into the purchase order and see how it works in Navision. So here, when you click the purchase order, you will get the list of all the orders in your system. So let's start with a new order. So when we create a press order, you will be provided with the blank order page. So basically, you will see that you are having some menu options, the functionalities which you can do with purchase, and it is of two part basically. One is your header part. All the other things are on this page are the header part, and this is your line. Okay, so before we can mm, do any order, we will have to select the vendor to whom we want to give a order. So for example, I am taking this first vendor in my list to place an order. The moment you select the vendor, all the related information with that vendor will get updated on your order. So you are having several tabs where you have other kind of information related to that vendor, like this invoicing details. So what will be here, posting setup, payment terms, and all other things. You can go into detail later on. The purpose of this video is to just have an overview of the purchase model. So this is the how the shipping and payments will work. So some fields get defaulted from your vendor. Vendor means vendor card, where we define all the common information. So those get into copied to your order automatically, but you can change it as per your requirement. Okay, so let's move ahead. So there are some mandatory fields which without completing those fields you will not be able to process the order. So that is compulsory and you will have to provide them. So for the time being, let's leave this the vendor invoice number that we will require when we invoice to the vendor. So let's start with purchasing few items. So for example, say I want to purchase this item and say for around 10 quantities. Okay. So I want to purchase few more items. So I will select something this. So I am ordering one attendix and one chair. So for chair also, for example, I will use 10 items. Okay. So this is what we have prepared the order that from this vendor, I want this items to be purchased in this quantity. So now this order is complete. So next option is to process this order. So there are few fields which you will see, that is quantity to receive, which says how many quantity of items you are going to receive, and this is how much you have already received. Similarly, for the invoice also, how much amount to be invoiced and how much items you have already invoiced, means quantity, how many quantity you have already invoiced. So for example, say we get a notification from our warehouse that the items have been received and we want to get it into the system. So for example, say we have not received complete shipment. So say we have received 5 items for this item and 5 items for this item. So I'm going to receive these items, and it suggests me that if you are going to receive this item, so you will have to invoice with this 5 items, 5 quantity for this items also. Okay, that is the separate thing. So until we go for invoicing, we don't require the vendor invoice number. Okay. So for like we have said that the warehouse guy had updated that the item has been received. So there is a separate cycle of using the warehouse that we are not going to cover in this demo. So in this case, I want to just receive this item directly to my inventory. So what I'm going to do, I will post this order. So now we are provided with the three options. Either we would like to receive it, or we want to invoice it, or we want to receive and invoice both. So for this time, I just want to receive because vendor has yet not provided me with the invoice. So once we receive the invoice from the vendor, then we can go for the invoicing of those items or for this order. So anyway, so let's start with the, we have received the partial shipment. So we are going to receive the 5 item. So we posted this order, and you can see that after posting, the system has updated it that quantity we have received is 5 for each item. What is remaining to receive is here, and what are remaining for invoicing is here. So when we posted this order, what exactly happened in the system? What entries were created? So let's investigate. So we go to the order and say, show me the receipts. So this will show me all the shipment receipts which have been posted for this order. So basically the order filter is there. So it is showing only the receipt that is related to this order. So let's go into it and see. So basically this is your posted purchase receipt which we have just posted for the 5 items. So since this is a historical data, so it is not allowed to modify these items, means this document. So if you can see that this my order number 6012 have been received. It is having its unique receipt number also. So here we are the details, what are the items and how many quantity we have received. Okay. So this is basically for the historical purpose, and few of the values from the orders are also copied for the reference purpose. So now exactly what entries were passed to the system. So you can find it here. You go to find the entries, or you're navigating this document. So when we navigate this, so we see that this document number 107213, which was posted on this date, so it has created one posted purchase receipt. So which we have already seen that this purchase receipt is there. Then there is some entries created for the item ledger entry. This is basically when your item enters into your inventory. So you have the entry over here that this item is now with you. So you can further process with these items what you want to do with that item. Either it is your consuming items, or you will be reselling it, whatever. So here what happens, you are having 2 entries created, one each for both the items, and this was basically the purchase receipt. The document number you can see 107213. So this is the same, and the items which we have ordered or received, and how much quantity we have received. So basically this 5 quantity has entered into your inventory. So when this receipt was posted, we have not invoiced any quantity. And remaining quantity says that this quantity is still in your inventory. Once you use this item somewhere else, like you have consumed it, or you have sell to some customer, so this remaining quantity will get knock off with this. So your inventory will get minus and your remaining quantity will reduce. So anyway, that is the separate thing. So for this example, we have created this. So now whenever the inventory comes in, so it will be holding some values. So the value entry is also created. So you can see that the same order, these two direct cost entries has been created. The amount which is expected as per our database is this, and since we have at not invoiced, so we are not having the actual cost. Anyway, the you can see that how many entries were created in your item ledger entry against which this is created, what were those items, and other informations related to. So this is, you can see the entry number. So this entry number is for this value entry. So it says that this 805 value entry is connected to item ledger entry this. So here basically is the value of this item is posted, since it is at not realized because we have not created the invoice. So let's go back and see it. So this is the receipt. Okay. So let's come back to our order. So now say for this after few days or after some time, we received the remaining of our order. So we get this 5 items also. And there could be the scenario that still we have not received the invoice, or we have received the invoice also. So in this example, we are assuming that along with this 5 order, since our order is completed, so vendor has sent the invoice also. So this time what we will do, we will receive this 5 item and invoice entire quantity. Okay. So now since we are going to invoice this order, so this vendor invoice number is required. If we don't provide this, so what will happen? So say for example, I am going to post this and I say, yes, I want to receive and invoice. So when we say okay, the error is flagged that you should enter the document vendor invoice number. You can read this. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back and provide with the invoice number. For example, this is the invoice number of the vendor which we have received. So we are going to post this, sorry, this 5 item in our inventory, and at the same time we are posting the invoice also for the 10 item entire, the first receipt which we have done and this receipt. Okay. So now we have already provided the mandatory field. So we will go ahead and post this order. So now again, you can see that you have been provided with the options, what you want to do. So this time I want to receive and invoice together. So let's do that. So now what happened? Since this order is complete, you have completely received your items and you have invoiced also. So there is nothing left out in this order. So system will now remove this document from my purchase order. And we will be only having the historical data for this, like your receipts and your invoices and any documents related to your, when you use your warehouse or other things. So those will remain to keep a track of this order, what all things were performed. So it says that this has been moved to the posted purchase invoice, and giving us option if you want to see the invoice. So if you don't want, you can say no, or let's see, we want to see that invoice. So this invoice is also basically your historical data. So you will not be provided option to change any of the information, and other informations from your order is been copied to this invoice also. And there are several more information which in the behind the scene. It is not displayed on the page. So depending on the customer requirement, those fields can also be added or displayed on this page. Anyway, so this is the order which was posted. So it says that we have an invoice of 10 items of these two items, 10 for the this and 10 for the chair. Okay. So now when we say that invoice has been posted, so basically what has happened to the database. So if you try to find the entries, so it will show you that these all entries has been passed along with this order when you invoice this order. So if you see that the document number and date filter is already applied, so it is saying that for this invoice, there is one posted purchase invoice document, so which we have already seen. So it is showing that there are some GL entries created for this invoice. So why the 11? We have only received the two items. So basically, it is it have posted the vendor entries, your tax entries, and all other things. And since the direct costing is enabled in this database, so there are a few more other entries. So see, this is all the direct cost entries related to specific item. And this is your basically invoice entry. So this says that this amount and this amount total this much amount. So there is always a two entry, so positive side and balancing side. And if you can see, your vendor invoice number is also linked to this entry, so that you can verify it later on. Other than this, there are more information stored, so that you can have a detail on that. So this is the GL entry, and then some tax entries have also been posted for this invoice. So this is that this posting group and whatever, this amount is the base amount, and this is your amount which is posted to your tax. Okay. Then after this, we are having a vendor ledger entry. Since we have invoiced the vendor, so that amount will come into our account, which we have to pay sometime. It calculates the due date, that by this date we have to pay this order. So this is the entry for the vendor, means this is the outstanding amount which we need to pay to the vendor. And then any detailed information breakup of this amount, how this amount has been created. So there is a detailed entry. So in this case, there is a very straightforward. So only one detailed entry we are having. And then again, your value entry. This time you have the 4 because you have received the items and invoiced the item. So see this, you have the invoicing item, and this is your receiving items. So this is how your all the entries has been created. Okay, so we are back on our purchase invoice. So if you go to the orders, you will not find your order because the order is already processed. So invoice we have already seen. So let's go and see receipts. So you can see that in this one. So this was the first time when we received the 5 items. That was so. This is your order number C 6012, and we have received this, and we have already navigated this entry, and you have seen this that how the entries was created. Similarly, when we invoiced at that time also we have received the 5 item. So this is the receipt for that 5 item. So you can see that the order number is same and the quantity which we have received is. So if we go to the find entries, you will find the similar entries have been created. So this time you see that value entry is not been created because it was directly invoiced. And here you are having total quantity and it says that 5 quantities have been invoiced and remaining means in inventory it is available. Okay. So when you created that receipts. So here you find the difference. So earlier when we have not invoiced, the value entry was created. But the in the another case, the value entry was not created because we have directly invoiced it also. Okay. So this was how your purchase module uh, work. Although there are other many points which need to be added, like warehousing and other things, but that is not the part of my this demo. The purpose of this demo was to just only show the basic purchase order. So anyway, let's continue with the other part of this training. Okay, so next topic is a sales cycle. So this is also a demo. So let's jump into that and see how it works. Okay, so let's start with the sales cycle. So we are assuming that our salesperson has already won the uh, quote. So he is going to present a quote to the customer. So from the sales, we can access to the sales quote. So once you select, you will be provided with all the available sales quote in your database. So let's start with the new one. So suppose we are going to quote to a customer, say this one. So we have selected the customer and then we are planning to sell him some items like say Athendesk, and second item we are this chair. Okay, so here after entering the items we have to define the quantity, how much quantity we are expecting the customer is going to order. So say 10 items and again 10 items. So 10 desks and 10 chairs we are going to quote to the customer. So the unit price and line amount, all these things as per the database, it has picked. So this is the total quantity. So after having this code, we will print the copy and send it to the customer. And suppose after a few days, a customer has give the confirmation that yes, we are happy with this and we would like to go for the order. So you will come again back on your sales code and convert this code into the order. So there could be that partial or you want to do it in full. So depending upon other things. So it confirms that if you want to convert the code to the order, so let's say yes. So the code has been converted to, it has given the order number, that this is the order number. So we open that order. So if you see that the information from the code have been directly passed to a sales order. So as you know that these parts are the header parts and you have different tabs for different informations grouped accordingly, and whatever the information is stored on the customer card that get defaulted to this order, and going forward if you wish to change any value that you can do anyway, that is the separate thing. So total quantity we are having here, that 10 was the order. So say today we are going to ship partial shipment. So according to that, say we are going to ship 5 and 5 this item. So that we have not shipped anything, and it suggests that you should create the invoice for 5 items. So we are sending the 5 items. So anyway, that is also we will see. So there is the other process also where your warehouse and other things may involve, but keeping this simple, and since warehouse is not the part of this demo, so we are only dealing with the basic sales order. So now we are having all the information in an order. So we are ready to ship the 5 items. So we will go to the posting and say post. So we are provided with the options. Either we want to ship, or we want to invoice, or we want to do both. So let's we want to ship only. We will invoice later on when the shipment will be completed. So if you can see, we are having the 10 items, out of which only 5 we are shipping. So this order is partially shipping. So we say okay. So this will create your shipment. So now if you see your total quantity shipped is 5 and 5 is outstanding to be shipped, and it is suggesting that now you should uh, invoice for entire quantity after shipping this also. Anyway, we will come here later. So exactly what happened in this case. So let me see what shipment was posted for this order. So here we get the shipment list where this page is opened with the order number filter. So only shipments that relate to this order is listed. So let's see the shipment order. So this is basically your posted document. So any modification is not allowed. However, few of the data from your order have been copied to this for the information purpose. So this is basically your historical data. So no modifications are allowed. So if you see, we have shipped these two items, each of them 5 piece. Okay. So when this shipment has happened, exactly what happened into the system. So if you see, only items have been moved out. We have yet not received any amount against it. Okay, because we have only shipped, we have not invoiced. So let's find what impact it has given in the database. So when this shipment was done, one posted sales shipment was posted, so which we have already observed, this one, and two ledger entries have been created because what two items we have shipped and both of them has gone from the inventory. So these are the item. This is the sales shipment, same shipment. So if we go in details, the quantity is in negative because we are removing from the inventory. So negative entries has been done. And you can see that the cost and other things are not impacted. So let's move back. So now it is the value entry because any inventory movement either it is coming in or going out. In both the case, it will hold some value if we have not invoiced. So as per the value entry, the cost has been posted, which is expected. It is yet to be realized when we will do the invoicing. And this is for the item ledger entry quantity is 5 and the value of 5 quantities is here, and per unit and all those details you have. And here the relationship between this value entry and item ledger entry is that this entry is linked to this item ledger entry number. Okay, it means this item ledger entry, because negative entry is there in the item ledger entry, so that is linked to, and that will cost this much, means the cost details and other things are stored over here. So anyway, let's come back to order. So now this time, after a few days, we are ready to ship the remaining 5 items. So it's up to us. Either we want to invoice at the same time or we have to do it later. So it depends what is the policy or requirement as per the customer. So what we will do now, we are going to ship as well as invoice also. So I'm completely shipping the order and going to invoice the 10 items. So we go over here and say post. So at this time, I want to ship as well as invoice. So the 5 item, each these 2 items will be shipped, and total of 10 quantity for each item will be invoiced to the customer. So let's do that. So now, since we have completely shipped as well as invoiced, so our order is no more available to us. So it is suggesting that the order is posted and move to the posted sales invoice window. So do you want to open the posted documents? It is saying that if you wish to see your invoice, so if you don't want, you can do it no, or if you wish to see, so we will do yes, because we want to see the invoice that has been posted. So here, if you see, this is again historical data posted entries. So modification is not allowed. Only for the information basis is your historical data. So here, total of 10 items have been invoiced. But you have to remember that along with this, the 5 item was shipped. So let's see what impact has gone to the system. So we have already investigated this posted sales invoice. So this is one sales invoice is been created. Second is the GL entry. It says 11 entries. So because the direct cost is enabled in the database, so there are some additional entries created due to the cost, and your items have been shipped. Your ledgers has impacted your so cost has gone. So if we see over here, so these are all the direct cost entries, and these are the invoice. So the invoice, this amount and this amount have been invoiced, which comes total to this as 2 entry, negative and positive. So 2 items, different items, and this cost is posted to your customer. Okay. So let's navigate to other things. So naturally, the tax is also involved. So there will be some tax entry also for particular amount, whichever it is, as per the percentage and everything. So this is the base amount on which this amount as a tax is calculated. Then this amount had been gone to the customer also, since we have to receive the payment on this customer. So the customer ledger is also created, and with the amount, this is the amount which is created for this customer. Means this amount we have to get from the customer. We will getting the payment. So this is the amount, and this is the total remaining amount. So means nothing we have received at. So there could be the scenarios like some prepayments or these kind of things may be there. So that will, according to that, these values may impact. So as usual, every ledger will be having the detailed entry. So what made it to this value? So here with the straightforward simple entry, so we are having only one line of the required amount. And this is again linked to your item ledger entry. So here basically relation is not shown, but in the back end it is there. Means this entry is associated with that. And then comes your value entry. So here if you see your value entry, so your sales invoice posted, the expected cost was the earlier, and this cost actual. So both amounts is now realized. So cost posted to the GL, if you can see, the total of this amount have been posted. So this is the five items, and this is the value and quantity. Since we have already invoiced, so there is no additional direct the cost has been posted for that entry. Okay. So this was the invoice where our customer taxes, GL, item ledger entry, everything was involved into this. So if we go back to order, since order is now removed, so we will go to the posted shipment, sales shipment. Not there. Anyway, this is, we can go through here. So posted sales shipments. So today, which one we have posted to Canon? This one. So if you see, this was the earlier when without invoicing we have posted 5 items. So if you find over here, you will get the posted sales shipment, item ledger entry, and the value entry as we have investigated earlier also. While invoicing, we have shipped the 5 quantity. So this 5 quantity has been shipped through this shipment. So 5 quantity again is shipped for these items. So let's find the entries. In this case, you will see that the value entry is not there because at the same time invoicing was done. So there was no required to create the value entry. Directly it has been realized to the account. So 1 posted entries and only 2 item ledger entries for the shipment have been created for the item. Okay. So this is your item ledger entry. And this is your quote number. This is the order number. So you have the tracking when you are dealing with the order. So all the documents are linked to with that. See here also. So this is how your sales order, shipment, and invoice is done in the sales cycle. So this was the only basic part which I wanted to demonstrate in this demo. And in detail, we will when go to the particular functionality of the system. At that time, we can explore either the warehouse cycle or some other scenarios where we can utilize our sales cycle. So anyway, that's all for this demo. So let's continue with rest of the training. Okay. So our next topic is document sending to customer. So in Business Central, to send documents to your customers, you can set up document sending profiles. So what are these document sending profiles? So you can set up each customer with a preferred method of sending sales documents. These preferred methods are called document sending profiles. So document sending profile include sending options that allow you to configure whether you would prefer to print documents or send them by email, and to indicate if the document needs to be attached as a PDF file or as an what you say, electronic document. So you can set up your document sending profile and then assign them to your customers. So assigning a document to the sending profile to a customer, if you assign a sending profile that is configured for sending document as an attachment to the email, so Business Central will use this configuration automatically when you use the send action on your documents. So each document list page in Business Central is provided with the option print and send action, which you will find at the top of your page, your menu. So you select the send option, which will direct you to the send document to page, basically intermediary page. So this page is auto completed by the configured sending profile for the customer. So you have already attached a profile to your customer, and there you have already assigned values. So those will get defaulted to this page. The send document to page states that the document will be sent to your customer, and the preferred choice, like for example, you have set as an email attachment or whatever you have defined in your profile. So when you select OK, the system will automatically create an email with the attachment. Just in case you define that the document sending option as an email in your profile. So the document sending profile feature provides you with the convenience of not having to configure the send document each time that you select the send action for a document. So next topic is jobs. So in Business Central, the jobs functionality will help you keep track of uses on jobs and provides data for invoicing the customer. You can manage both fixed price job and time and material jobs. The jobs area supports common project management tasks such as configuring a job and scheduling a resource, in addition to providing the information that is needed for managing budgets and monitoring progress. So next is resources. This is also a part of your job only. So a resource can be defined as a person, effort, or that of machine. With the resources functionality, you can register and sell your resources. You can also combine related resources into one resource group, or you can track even individual resources also. The resource management is often used in combination with the job functionality. So, Business Central allows you to define the capacity and get the availability of your resources. So, you can set the capacity of each resource and monitor the uses for the resources, which will allow you to obtain a complete overview of the capacity and availability of your resources. So, with the job, you can manage long term projects that involve the use of employee labor hours, your machine hour, even your inventory items, and such other types of uses that you want to keep track of. So, using the jobs functionality will provide a good overview for not only individual jobs but also the allocation of your employees, your machinery, and any such other resources that are being used in your projects. So, You can set up a job for a project that you will perform for your customer. On the job card, you can enter all the data that you need to manage the job from an administrative and financial point of view. But by entering the task for your job, you can specify everything that must be done to complete the job. For each task, you can plan capacity and sales for resources and item. So, based on the item cost and the price, and on the other hand, the resource cost and the price, your task and planning lines will create your job budgets, giving you the ability to manage the profitability of the job. After you have started working on a job, you can post usage to the job when purchasing items. Like you can post the usage by assigning the job number and job task number on the purchase lines of your purchase order or on your purchase invoices. So, with the job journals, you can use items on stock for a job or post resources uses. Periodically, you can invoice your jobs to your customers and use job statics to follow up on your job budget. You can also use the jobs functionality for many types of services and consultancy tasks. So, the timesheets are a simple and flexible solution for time registration with your manager approval, and they can integrate with the service, jobs, and your basic resources functionalities. So, with the timesheet, your resources can enter hours that are spent on the projects. Like once you have a configure which resource should enter timesheets, your timesheet administrator can prepare timesheets by the week based on your job planning lines. So the resource only needs to confirm if the time spent is same as the budget for the specific job task. After the resources hour have been submitted and approved, the timesheet administrator or the project manager can post them to the job. By assigning one of the available job costing methods, such as percentage of completion, you can have the program post recognized costs and sales to the income statement and post work in progress to the balance sheets. From the job card, you can track the work in progress and recognize cost and sales. So, our next topic is service management. So, if you are in a service industry, so it becomes important for providing your ongoing services to your customers, which is an important part of any business and one that can be a source of customer satisfaction and loyalty, and also it will help you for revenue. So, Business Central provides a set of tools to help ease your task of managing and tracking service. These tools are designed to support repair shop and field service operations. So the service management functionality of Business Central can be used in business scenarios such as complex customer service, distribution systems, industrial service environments with bills of material and high volume dispatching of service technicians with requirements for spare parts management. With the premium licensing, you can obtain access to service management capabilities of Business Central. Service management is basically focused on repair, which involves administrating the full service operation, integrating the service and product supply chain, and managing your service. So, service management will allow you to respond to service requests, plan and schedule repair assignments, follow up on the status of repair assignments, track and invoice repair costs, handle warranties, set and use service contracts. It will help you in optimize inventory levels for spare parts and improve your spare parts for costing. So if you are in service industry, so you will be having the serviceable items also. So what is this service item? So basically the fundamental component of your service management module is service item management. So service items are the equipment or the item that needs to be serviced or repaired. With service item management, you can record and keep track of all your service items. It may include your contract information, your component management, or your BOM references, also a warranty information. So if you are having the service items, so there will be the service orders also. So basically these service orders are assignments to service the equipment. With service orders, you can register after sales issues and repair requests. Service requests can be initiated by the customer or can be created automatically according to the terms in your service agreement. So data can be entered in service orders by your call center employees, or by your repair shop. So service that are registered in the service orders need to be planned. So you will have to plan when and how to provide service. So once you plan that, you can assign and dispatch persons to work on orders and optimize deployment for your regional zones, skills and priorities. Additionally, you can service order to manage service personnel and field technician information, and also to filter accordingly to availability, skills and stock items. So the next thing is warranty. So you can manage warranty details on the service items and spare parts, and record details on service levels, response time and discount level. So similarly, in your service contract management, your service conditions and operations might be contractually required. In the contract management module, you can set up an agreement with the customer that addresses the service level to be delivered, and maintain information on contract history, your contract renewal and contract templates. You can also generate your contract codes. So with service contract management, you can record details on service levels, response times and discount levels. Additionally, you can record details about the service history of each contract, including used service items and parts and your labor hours. So in your service price management, you can set up, maintain and monitor service prices. You can also define price calculation structures that include all parameters that are involved in providing your service. Okay, so our next module is manufacturing. So with the premium licensing, you and your organization can be empowered with manufacturing capabilities. So before you can begin to produce items, you must set up various parameters such as your work center, routing and your production bombs. With this module, you can plan your production order, you can plan for your future manufacturings, you can control your ongoing manufacturing and handling of finished manufacturing. So let's talk about production orders. So once your demand has been planned for and the materials have been issued according to your production bombs, then the actual production operation can start and be run in sequence that your production order routing defines. So your production orders are used to manage the conversion of purchased materials into your manufactured items. Production orders route work through various work or your machine centers on your shop floor. So production orders are basically the central component of the program's manufacturing functionality, and they contains information regarding your products that are planned for manufacturing, materials that are required for the planned production orders, your products that have been manufactured, materials that have already been selected, products that have been manufactured in your past, materials that were used in previous manufacturing operations. So basically, the production orders are the starting point for planning the future manufacturing, controlling your current manufacturing, and tracking of finished manufacturing. So your production order can be created on an order by order basis. Either you manually create from your production order page or can be generated from sales order planning or even from your order planning pages. Here the important part of implementing production is to post production output to report the progress and update your inventory. So with the finished items, your output posting can be done manually by filling and posting journal lines after production operations. Alternatively, you can perform output posting automatically with the use of backward flushing. In that case, your materials get consumed is also automatically posted along with the output the moment you change the status of your production order to finished. You can also use production journal page to post your consumption and output for one production line. So your manufacturing module also provides you with the version management. Basically, in the version management allows you to create and manage different versions of the manufacturing BOM and your routing. So what is basically your agile manufacturing? So with agile manufacturing, you can plan your rush hours, you can make exceptions and handle your last minute changes to your processes with multiple planning options. The basic supply planning allows you to plan for material requirements based on demand with support for your master production scheduling and materials requirements planning. And your demand forecasting, you can plan and create production and purchase orders taking into consideration the demand forecast together with your level of available inventory and parameters of your requirement planning. So the next module in your Business Central is human resources. So basically we are having very basic human resource in our Business Central. So if you wish to go for detail, you may have to go for other available options and integrate it with your Business Central, or you can find suitable apps from your app source or other partners who provide more detailed human resource options. So in Business Central, you can keep detailed record of your employees. You can register and maintain employee information such as your employment contracts, any confidential information, details of qualifications, and your employee contacts. You can also register employee absences with allow you to analyze your registered absences as necessary. So to start using your Business Central human resources, you must set up employee and some other basic information. So you can then associate various codes to an employee, which allows you to filter the information of that specific employee. So to use the human resource functionality, you must first register each employee by creating a card with all the core and related informations. On the employee card, you can set up the information such as his membership, relatives, contracts, or any such information about your employee. You can use alternate addresses to keep track of your employee's location, like if they are stationed abroad on any long business trip or residing at any other place. So you can reimburse employees for their expenses too during your business activities. So for this purpose, you must fill in the field on your Payment Fast tab on your employee card page. So to manage an employee's absence, you can record the absence on the absence registration page. It can then be viewed in different ways for analysis and reporting needs. You can view employee absence from your two different pages. One is the absence registration page, where you register all employee absences with a line for each absence. And another place is the employee absence page, where the absence of an employee is only shown. This is the same information that you entered on the absence registration page, filtered by your each employee. So that's all in this module. It's a very small module. So if you are looking for some detailed options, you will have to look for suitable apps available in your marketplace. Okay. So until this point of this training video, we discussed regarding overview of Business Central and discussed basics of modules that are present in Business Central. So before we proceed to our agenda of this video series, let's discuss in brief about the cloud architecture of Business Central. Business Central is a fully loaded cloud solution, and its architecture is illustrated in right side of this slide. So if we see to this slide, we can say that it is broadly divided into three parts. One is your IIS, second is your NST, and your database. So an Internet Information Service, which we refer to as IIS website, is required to give users access to data from the Business Central web client, your companion app, and Microsoft Outlook add-ins. This IIS website, which is referred to as a Business Central web server instance, hosts the files that provide content and services to client users over your internet. So the Business Central web server instance, that is IIS, communicates or connects to the service tier, that is your NST, which in turn connects to your database that contains the application as well as your business data. The service tier or your NST runs the business logic which is stored in your app DB. Okay, so next let's understand briefly about web services. So the Business Central supports web services based on SOAP and OData. Web services are industry standard technologies that make application functionality available to a variety of external systems and users. Developers can create and publish functionality as web services, where they can expose pages, code units, or queries, and even can enhance a page web service by using an extension code units. When Business Central objects are published as web services, they are immediately available on the network. So Business Central exposes an API that makes it possible to integrate with other services. Connect apps are typically created by using standard REST API to interchange data. Any coding language that is capable of calling REST APIs can be used to develop your Connect app. So next is a multi-tenant architecture. Basically, your Business Central implements a multi-tenant architecture where the data is stored in an Azure SQL shared environment, and each tenant's data is stored in a separate database. Your data schema is shared over all the tenants, and as a developer, you can use extensions to implement changes and even your additions to the data scheme of your tenant. So the authentication of Business Central basically uses with Azure Active Directory, AAD. Basically your Azure Active Directory. Basically it is a cloud service that provides identity and access capabilities, such as for applications on Microsoft Azure. So and your Microsoft 365 and for applications that install on your premises. Your Business Central server instance is configured to use the access control service credential type so that you can associate the Business Central user accounts with your Microsoft 365 account that people use to access the Business Central web client, your Microsoft 365 and your SharePoint. So Business Central Admin Center basically is used to manage your instance or tenants. So if you are a Business Central reselling partner, you are the administrator of Business Central tenants of your customer. You have access to the administration tools of their Microsoft 365 account and their Business Central Administration Center. Okay, so next we will discuss about the personalization. So in Business Central, users can personalize a workspace to suit their own preferences by changing pages to display only the information that they need to see. The personalization changes that a specific user make will only affect what they see. It is not applicable for other users. So if any user has made some changes in his environment, so other users may not be affected by that. So it is specific to that particular user. Administrators can control and manage the personalization. So he have the power to enable or disable the personalization feature for user level, or he can restrict to the specific profile also. He can also clear any page personalizations that user have made for his environment. In addition to what users can personalize, administrators and super users can overwrite their changes or their users' personalization and can also define which features are accessible in all or for the specific companies. Okay, so now let's know a bit about app sources. So in Dynamics 365 Business Central, there are many ready-to-use apps in your app source. Basically, it is a marketplace for business solution. So app source is a marketplace where partners can provide marketing details such as descriptions, white papers, or videos about their app for Business Central. Embed app partners can decide to promote themselves and their embed app on AppSource. In AppSource, you can find apps to add simple features to your Business Central app. Like one could be your barcode generators. Similar kind of apps are available in your AppSource. So if you wish to implement them, you can directly get it from the AppSource. You can also find apps that add new business feature to your Business Central app, like apps for web shop integration, some product configurators, document scanning, and many more. Other than application apps, you can also find consulting resources in Business Central App Source. Many of the business users are looking for experienced partners to help them get started with confidence by offering quality consulting services designed to deliver predictable outcomes. Also, the implementation partners therefore can play a vital role in helping customers to both assess their need and evaluate and deploy the right solution that can help them meet their business goals. So, for this reason, AppSource supports the listing of consulting services offering from system integrator like your system integrator partners of your Microsoft. The goal is to enable business users to connect swiftly with any expert services they need. So, AppSource consulting service offerings are customer specific engagements that have an defined outcome, are fixed in scope and duration, and have fixed price or are sometimes even free also available. Business users can request to be contacted by the partners in a friction free manner. Partners receive a notification in their CRM system, and most of them aim to respond to the users within 48 hours after being contacted. And also some powerful tools like your Microsoft Power Platform. So basically your Microsoft is modernizing the business process across productivity with Business Central and Microsoft Power Platform. The Microsoft Power Platform includes the components of like Power Apps, your Power BI and Power Automate. So Power App allows you to create apps for business with little to almost no code, not a single line of code you need to write to get your work done. A powerful point and click approach to app building makes it simple for anyone who is familiar with Microsoft 365 to customize and extend Business Central and build a new category of apps. So let's discuss a bit about Power Apps. So with Microsoft Power Apps, you can build visually stunning apps that take advantage of device capabilities like it could be your cameras, your GPS system and pen controls. You can also build apps that run on any device and are customized for your business requirements. You can accomplish all these tasks without writing a single line of code. That's the great. You can make your Business Central data available as a data source in your Power App because your Business Central is an available connection in your Power Apps. On the other hand, the Power Automate provides you with the automated workflows that can connect to more than 200 services out of the box. You can create flows for your common business scenarios by using a rich template gallery and then customize them to meet your needs through a intuitive graphics editor. You can also start from the beginning by using the same editing experience and build complex flows that include your parallel branching, your conditional and logical and loops. So with the Dynamics 365 Business Central connector, you can use your Business Central data as part of a workflow in your Power Automate. You will also find a growing quantity of Business Central templates for Power Automate with pre-configured flows for your Business Central. Power Automate is the connective component that's used by end users and your app developers for digital transformation, no matter what application they are using. One important point to note is, in addition to the Power Automate, you can use the workflow functionality within your Business Central. Though they are two separate workflow systems, any flow template that you create with the Power Automate is added to the list of workflow templates within your Business Central. So now we will discuss about the customization. So although this is the main agenda of this video series, so we will be talking on this point throughout the videos which are going to uploaded in coming days. So as of now, let's talk very brief. So developers can add and extend existing code by creating extensions. So the development environment that is used to create extensions in Visual Studio Code. You can tailor, extend and build applications so that Business Central fits to your specific needs with little or almost no code development. With Business Central, you can investigate whether there is any third-party solutions. Those are available that can fit to your requirements. You can check if the Microsoft Power Platform can fill your gaps. And finally, you can customize and develop additional functionality by yourself. Okay, so our next topic is extensions. So basically the functionalities in your Business Central is coded in objects. So to modify existing objects such as your tables, pages and other objects, you will have to create an extensions. Extensions are a programming model that is object based. So you can create new objects or even you can extend your existing objects depending on what you want your extensions to do. An extension defines extra functionality to modify the behavior of your Business Central applications. Your all objects are stored as code, which is known as application language code, or in short we say AL code. Every object is saved in files. So these files are basically your extension of these files will be .al, and you can put multiple objects in a single file or your .al file. Although it is a bad practice and it's recommended that to use a single file for each objects, which will help you maintain in you can say it will help you easy maintenance of your extensions in future and also readable. So when your extension is compiled, you will get an app package that is with the extension .app app. So this app package file can be deployed to the Business Central server. Alternatively, if required, you can submit your extension package to AppSource, where you can offer your solution to customers worldwide. So, Visual Studio Code. This is the basically an application or your editor where you will write your codes or use for your extension development. So be careful. Visual Studio Code should not be confused with the Visual Studio Code editor, which we use for creating, building and deploying your Microsoft .NET solutions. Or you can remember that you have used for developing RDLC reports. So that is a different, and this VS Code is a different. So Visual Studio Code can be installed on any of the platform in your Windows, Linux or Mac OS. So with Visual Studio Code, you can write AL code to create extensions for your Business Central. AL is the language that is used to create and access objects or writing your logic and so on. So extensions in your Visual Studio Code are basically small packages that are created to extend the standard functionality. By default, your Visual Studio Code knows a few basic programming and markup languages like your HTML, JavaScript, CSS and Node.js. So your AL language extensions for your Visual Studio Code is an extra package that is used for extension development or AL programming. So if you want to use Visual Studio Code for other languages, so you can install extra packages also called your extensions. So Microsoft has created an extension for your AL so that by installing this extension, you can use Visual Studio Code for developing your Business Central solutions. By using the AL language extension for your Visual Studio Code, you will be getting the benefits of modern development environment along with your seamless publishing, debugging, and execution of integration with Business Central. And we come to our final topic, that is your application language. So basically, application language or your AL is a programming language that is used to write code for Business Central. With application language, you can manipulate data. The statements and functions will allow you to read, write, and change data. It will also allow you to control the implementation of objects and to interact with the users. Application language contains a set of predefined functions that you can use when writing your code. But you can also develop your own custom functions. You can have event triggers or function triggers. Every object types in application language, like your table, page, code unit, report, and so on, other objects, has your event triggers. So these event trigger names start with, you can easily find them and identify them. It will be always prefixed with on, like for example, on insert, on modify, on delete, and so on. The event triggers occur when an event takes place. Which triggers are available depends on the type of your object. So you can also write your own custom functions in an object, and these custom functions will be accessible in the object by function triggers, which are referred to as procedures. Just like in every programming language, application language enables you to create variables that you can use in your functions to calculate or store your temporary data. So that's all for today's video. From next video, we will start learning AL program. So how do you feel about this video? Do let me know in below comments. Your comments will help me deciding directions for my upcoming videos. Your like, follow, and subscription will be treated as appreciation and push me to create more videos to help the community. So before you leave the channel, do hit like, subscribe, and share with your friends so that it reaches to people who may need this. Don't forget to press bell icon so that you get notification about when I upload my next video. Thanks for watching. Connect you with next video soon. Bye and take care. Take good care of yourself. Bye bye.